We're going to talk about things that nobody else will. Success leaves clues. And if you're going to make the same mistakes you made when you were a teenager, then you if you want to get good at something, you've got to sharpen your sword. We're going to smash this. This episode of the Little Bricks podcast is sponsored by Pride and Respect, a fantastic events company that has brought people like Anthony Joshua, Tyson Fury, Nigel Benn and Chris Eubank to the Teesside area. Thank you so much for sponsoring the episode, guys. We're so grateful. Welcome to the Little Bricks podcast with myself, Lee Flanagan, and we've got Jonathan Woodgate on today. Thanks, mate.
Evening, Lee.
How are you?
Okay, not too bad. Yourself?
Good, really good there. Good. I want to say thank you for coming on, mate.
Honestly, not a problem at all.
Yeah.
Not a problem. I'm only up the road.
Really appreciate it, mate. So here's a story here. We try and get guests on. We've had world-class athletes, billionaire we had on last week. You've been the easiest guest to ever get on. Literally one phone call, no problem. Tell me where to be and I'll be there. So thank you.
You're welcome.
Real show of humility, that, mate. So tell us your story, mate. Where did it all start for you in football?
Well, I started as a young kid playing at Nunthorpe Athletic. A year above myself, and I remember two kids coming up to me at my house and saying, "Listen, we're going to play football, mate. We're going to Nunthorpe Athletic. Do you want to come?" Yeah, straight up there. And we were playing in Ray Dickens' team. He was the manager at the time. All up there, and I quite enjoyed it. Really enjoyed the competitiveness of the games, but then realising to myself, bloody hell, Jonathan, you're a year younger than these. So really started from there, and that enjoyment really also helped my dad as well. He was a plumber, and he obviously wanted me to try and be a footballer. He used to go to all the borough games with my uncle, and I used to go there regular and watch the games with them. So that's how it started. But you got to keep on doing it.
Yeah.
You can't just turn it once. You've got to keep on going and going and going.
Consistency.
That's a pattern in life, though, isn't it?
It really is. Yeah, definitely is.
Of what you want to do and what you want to be.
Yeah. Is that at the highest levels, which you've been not fortunate? You've worked your way there. Is consistency at the higher levels? Do the best pros, are they really consistent with everything?
That's the best players,
right?
Because they're consistent. Do it in training. Do it off the pitch. Do it on the pitch. And no matter what game it is, they turn up and they're consistent. You can get players in, say, Championship or League One who are brilliant for one game, and then they think they're world beaters, and they're not, because they haven't got that consistency to get you the next level. It's like in any sport, like in golf. I played golf this morning. I played unbelievable this morning, but I'm not very good because I can't do it every single round. Where the top players are like, bang it out, bang it out, bang it out. That's why they're consistently good. Where I ain't.
How do you get that? Is it like a mindset thing, or is that your habits off the pitch that lead you to that?
I think it's everything, really. I think you've got to be aligned in everything you really want to do. Habits on the pitch, habits off the pitch, what you eat, what you drink. Okay. Do you go out? Do you stay in? Have you got a girlfriend? What's your relationship like at the minute? Have you got a family? Have you got kids? Are you settled? So there's lots of different things that can get you to that top level and make you more consistent. It's patterns every day.
Yeah, amazing, fascinating. So you left Nunthorpe and you went, was it Cleveland first, I think, wasn't it?
I went, Ivor Hyman was running Cleveland Juniors.
Legend.
Top man Ivor. Top man. I still speak to his kids now and again. But Ivor was running Cleveland Juniors, and he asked me if I'd go because I needed to step down. I was getting a bit caught up a year above myself, and they all started getting a bit stronger. Went there for, I'd say, not long, it was like in a pre-season. We were playing loads of five-a-side competitions and playing in Kiel, won the Kiel Classic tournament. And then he left and went to Martin and took the majority of the players to Martin. And that's when we started taking over. Lee Fitzgerald came, who was an unbelievable player. But there was a lot of good players in that group who we took with them.
Great team.
Yeah, top team. We won like the County Cup a year above ourselves, won the league for many years. We had a really, really good team. But Lee Fitzgerald from Hartlepool, he came to Leeds with me. Yeah. And Lee Fitzgerald was like head and shoulders above anyone at that age group. Head and shoulders above me.
Yeah.
Like, he was the midfield dynamo, box to box, tackle, run,
and everything.
The whole shebang.
Yeah.
But didn't make it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I do, yeah.
It's one of them things where you can be the best player at 14-year-old, 12-year-old, 16, you might be out of the game.
Yeah.
And I see all these, like a lot of the parents now, and they talk about the kids and this and that. Yeah. Just take your time. Don't build your kids' hopes too much, and don't build your hopes up, because you've got massive steps to make to get there. The steps to be a footballer are huge, absolutely monstrous, because what's going to happen when they get to 15-year-old? They're going out. What they're doing? They find out. You never know what's going to happen. You never know what path you're going to go down. Some choose the right one, some choose the wrong one.
Yeah. With your dad and your family, you're a strong family, a good family. Did they play a big role in keeping your temperament right and keeping you level? And was that a big part of your success, do you think?
Yeah, I'd say so. Listen, I was no angel. I wasn't great at school. I was getting shot with different classes. Something that I really regret, by the way, because I should have been a lot better. And I'm constantly on to my kids about you need to do this, you need to do that. Learn a language, really important. But at school, I only really wanted to be one thing, and that was a football player. Whatever anyone asked me, I want to be a footballer, I want to do this. And some teachers say, well, you might not make it, what are you going to do? And I was like, I'm going to be a footballer. Yeah. And that's what you'd say. But my parents I had a great upbringing with them. My mum was a part-time secretary. My dad was a plumber who worked every hour God sent. Yeah, unbelievable work ethic. And that's what rubbed off on me. Because when he got in from work at 5 o'clock, he had to drive me to Leeds 3 times a week and then on a Sunday. So for my dad's sacrifice and dedication got me to where I had my career.
Super.
Oh, it's unbelievable. What my mum and dad did for me. I'm lucky they were both together. I mean, a lot of people don't have mums, don't have dads, and not always together. So I understand that it's difficult, but I was so lucky to have that upbringing from my parents.
Yeah, brilliant. Have you took a lot of your dad's work ethic into your career?
You've got to, and that's what I'll try and do with my son. You've got to constantly work hard. You've got to be at it. Like you said there, you're constantly at work. You're constantly practicing. Practice what you preach as well. And my father used to go work every day, constantly. Constantly, but that's what I'll say to my kids. Work as hard as you can every single day, and if it's not good enough at the end of the day, fair enough, but as long as you can look yourself in the mirror at the end of the day and said, I give it everything I've got every single day, then you can't fall off.
I get you. See, I think success leaves clues. Relevant to the sport, you think of Kobe Bryant, God bless his soul, who passed away. I started getting up at that time at 4 because I seen he did. And his logic behind it was, if he gets up at 4, he can go an extra session than everyone else. Now, over a season, that's probably 40, 50 sessions extra. After 2 seasons, he's too far in front. Can't catch him. So work ethic, the top people, are the sickening with the work ethic. They're at it constantly.
Well, I'd say so. And I got to a good level. I didn't get like all the way to the top like the best. But if you look at them, they're obsessed. You've got to be obsessed to get right to the top. You've got to have that burning desire inside of yourself to want to get there, to want to be the best at your job. Like you said with Kobe Bryant getting up at that time. And if you look at like Ronaldo coming back to the Premier League, he's 36-year-old, and you're seeing him on Saturday against Newcastle running 21 miles per hour or whatever. It's unheard of. And I've seen how lean he looks.
Unbelievable. Same as I've seen a picture when he was 17 to now. He looks in better shape now.
It's because that's what he's done to himself. He's probably invested in high performance of physios, of strength and conditioning, sports scientists, chefs, the whole shebang, because he wants to be the best he can. And he's come back to Man United for a reason, hasn't he? And he even said to win, to be a winner.
To win. That mentality is scary.
And can you imagine him in the dressing room with the younger players coming through? Can you imagine what that's going to teach them and help them later on in life?
Unbelievable.
Different level.
See, mentoring there then, and sort of having good pros around you. You went to Leeds, and a mutual friend, Lee, can love him a bit. He used to say about the great pros at the club, Barty, Radaby, and those others as well. How important was that for your upbringing, watching good pros?
That's big for me. That's one of the biggest things, because when I went to Leeds, there was them players around. Gary Kelly, another one. Players you could approach, affable characters who were really good with you, who weren't distant, who weren't sour, because you were maybe going to take the place. Like I had David Weatherall, top man.
Was it?
Yeah, great fella, great with me. Give me a bollock when I need it, but also put his hand on my shoulder. And that's really important. And it's like anything, even in management, when you go and manage a club, you need good senior pros. I hear Graham Souness say it all the time, Roy Keane, 100% right. You need examples on that training pitch day in, day out to show what it takes to get to the top. Because if you don't have good leaders, what are you going to have? You're going to have a bunch of kids running riot. Like when I used to play games and I got older, say 34, and I'd have a reserve game, or I trained and I was the group who hadn't played on a Saturday, I made sure when I was going to that training session on the Sunday, I was going to be the best player. Even at that age, thinking to myself, right, I want to be the best player. I want to show these kids what it takes to make it. And hopefully that helped them. That helped them in their future pathways. Because it is all about, at times, good examples for young kids, good senior pros, and it doesn't half help.
It really does pass the baton, and mentoring's so important. You learn so much from habits, don't you? Monkey see, monkey do.
Yeah. And
you had Paul Hart there, was your manager of the youth team, one of the best youth teams I think we've ever seen. To be fair, what were them days like for you?
Well, Paul was really, really hard on me. Like Eddie Gray was really hard on me, really hard on Lee Matthews, Stephen McPhail, Harry, really like hard. And I'd be like, top players, and I'd be like, why are you always this? He said, because we know you've got so much to give. Yeah. He said, if we didn't get on you, wouldn't be bothered. And honestly, they just gave me a really hard time, but it was the best upbringing I could have as a young footballer. And I still speak to Paul and Eddie now. Yeah. Because that, like again, the examples used to show me how you're supposed to live. Like in the morning, getting up, waking up, making your bed. Little things. Is the room clean? Little things in life which put you on the right pathway. Because we were coming from Middlesbrough. And living, we moved away. I moved away when I was 15-year-old to Leeds, which felt like like a million miles away, by the way. And they mentor you, they father you, and mother you at the same time. But the examples they used to lead, and every single day in training, everything has to be spot on. Our standards have to be high. If you win games in training, you've got to be at it to win games in training. But every session has to be 100%. We used to go and play the first team. Paul used to say, right boys, you're going to play the first team. We used to look forward to it because we know we'd maybe try and have a good game against him or beat him. Make sure you set your standard and show George Graham what you're all about. So I used to go and play against Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank and Clyde Vine at the time. I used to think, right, you're getting it. And I was only a skinny kid, do you know what I mean? Skinny, wiry. I was game when I was on the pitch towards the later part of my when I started playing. I was game. I wanted to get rattled in, but that's what we used to try and do. Go and play against the first team, go and play well, just because Paul and Eddie said, listen, you only get one chance sometimes against these players, and the first example's got to be the best one. Superb. That was top.
Coming through, I mean, you list off there your youth team, the amount of international players there and people who made it to the Premiership. Would you have got the levels you did if you didn't have a bit of a shark tank on lads of a really high level? Did you help each other come through the ranks together?
Yeah, I think we all pushed each other. We all lived together. We all lived each other's pockets every single day. I mean, every single one we used to eat together 3 times a day, do everything together. You can imagine it was all going off in our digs, but we all wanted that burning desire to get to the top. I mean, players like we brought a young kid over from Norway called Tommy Narvik, brought Wesley Boyle from Ireland, Harry Kuehl from Australia. Me and Lee from down the road in Middlesbrough. But that's what Leeds were doing at the time. But we needed that mentoring to get us to the top.
Yeah, of course. Do you think the way he's trained, because me and Lee spoke about this, how fierce and competitive it was. The group itself, is it a coincidence she's had so many injuries? This is just off topic a little bit. Or do you think it might be linked to the training method? No, I'm not questioning Paul Hart, by the way, but how fucking intense you were.
Yeah, we were constant. I mean, Lee had a lot of injuries and he had to retire from his injuries. I was lucky to keep on going, but a lot of our players got injured. Harry Kuehl got a lot of bad injuries. Alan Smith, I know he had the fracture in his leg, and you can look at that because we were at it, and we used to train on, like, if it was indoors, well, we were ratting around, and sports science was never heard back then, so it's difficult to say. I mean, Ian Hart got through with not many injuries. He was similar. I think it's one of them things. I had a bad back pathology at the time, and obviously Lee did, and it doesn't help when you're 6'2", 6'3", and you're slim. But there's a lot more things I'd do now if I could do it again. I'd hire my own physio for stars. Yeah, 100%. I'd have my own one with me from day one.
Really?
Yeah, doing set things with me, looking after me, and that was it.
Really?
I'd definitely hire that.
Yeah,
that'd be one of my first things.
Yeah. Do you remember seeing LeBron James invest £1.2 million or dollars every single year just in himself? Diet, mindset, Reiki, to the point what he listens to, how he's cut, everything to make him an elite athlete. I think Ronaldo's the same.
It's gone to the next level.
Is it really? Yeah?
It's gone to the next level, but that's something I would definitely do now if I could do it again. Would be hire my own physio, strength and conditioning, the whole shebang. Individualise your program.
Super.
You can do it with a team. Not every single player needs the same exercise.
Of course, yeah.
So focus on yourself.
Yeah, of course. So you made your debut at Leeds. What was that like?
Making my debut was probably one of the Nottingham Forest away. 1-1 we drew. It was probably the scariest thing I've ever done in football. Yeah. Oh, the night before I was rooming with Paul Robinson at the time, and I got told the day before, David O'Leary pulled me on and said, right, you're playing tomorrow. Make your debut, so tell your parents come down. As soon as he said to me, I think I shit myself. I went, oh, okay, no. But then the night before, Paul Robinson was going to me. Bear in mind, I'm an 18-year-old kid, and he's going, Neil Shipley, tell you what, he's a handful. He's going to be all over you tomorrow. And I'm thinking, oh my God. And you think to yourself, and I was always, before I went on the pitch the night before, as soon as I woke up in the morning, I was like nervous. Sometimes I couldn't eat my pre-match.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
And that continued throughout that?
Yeah, even like whatever games you play, like behind closed doors, games, pre-season, friendlies, it's always the same. Nervous. Oh, fuck, honestly. But as soon as I crossed the white line, no one's better. Do you know what I mean? I had that belief in myself when I went across the line. No one's better. But always before shitting myself. But when we played against Forest and I just went on the pitch, did my own thing, just felt natural to me. The crowd wasn't there, I was just playing my normal game and played for the rest of the season.
That was you, wasn't it?
That was me in.
Brilliant. Yeah. What a team that was as well. You got the Champions League semi-final.
Yeah, we first year we finished 5th in the league, and then we got in the UEFA Cup semi-final, got beat by Galatasaray. Following year was Champions League semi-final, which was an incredible experience for that team from Leeds, and what David O'Leary had done by investing in the youth and investing in a plan and delivering what he wanted. I think the average age was something like 24, and we were buying young players. We were buying Ferdinand, 19 million from West Ham, buying Robbie Keane, Robbie Fowler, Seth Johnson. We were buying like real good, high quality players. Robbie Keane to go with the other lads that we had, and you can imagine what was it like.
Amazing, yeah.
We're all young. Yeah, I'd definitely say the best football. Yeah, I played good football there. I played really good football. Best football I played was at Newcastle. Yeah, without a shadow of a doubt. I played some really good soccer there.
What was it like for him?
For Bobby, Bobby was a man manager. He'd be the type of manager who'd get you in the office and make you feel you were unstoppable. And that's what he did to me, to be honest with you.
What did he say to you?
Just said how good you are, how good you can be, what I can do to develop you. But his enthusiasm, how he spoke, was like on a different level. And sometimes if he had a go at you, he'd make sure then, as you were still leaving the office, he'd then say again, but don't forget how good you were last week. Doesn't make you a bad player one game. Leadership, and that's how he was with, I think, every single player. And if you ask like players like Craig Bellamy, Dyer, Jenis, Shearer, they'd all say his man management was a different level. Because we didn't do a lot tactically wise and shape sessions like coaches do now. Really? It was like this, do that. A few little things, easy markers, really easy. How he speaks to you, and what he wants from you in particular to do. Easy messages to do. Don't complicate the game. Just go out and play. That's what he was like, but a top manager.
Superb. Have you took bits going into, we'll touch on management later on, leadership. Have you took bits from all the managers, but to Bobby, you're like, he's an icon, isn't he? Have you took bits from what you learned working with him and you put it in practice in life as a parent and obviously with work as well now? Yeah,
I'd say definitely with both. If you look at every single manager you can learn from goods and bads what managers have done and things that you won't do and you won't say. You can learn off every single manager. Man management was the biggest thing with Bobby, like with Harry Redknapp, top man manager, Venables, top man manager. You know, with the foreign ones more tactics wise, but you learn from them and you learn little things that they say and they do, and you take everything into management really. But yeah, you learn lessons every day, no matter who you speak to. Of
course, yeah. If you're open man enough to take.
Yeah, you've got to be. Yeah, you've got to take it on board. If you've got to be a sponge, haven't you? You've got to take it all in. If you're not going to listen to people and thinking you're this and you're that, then you're never going to evolve as a person, evolve as a coach.
Yeah, I agree. And then you got the Real move, which was like, fuck me, like what, Real Madrid? Yeah. You know, I remember the time happening, and Lee told us, we were like, fucking so happy for you. One of our own got to that level.
Yeah.
You never changed. You've always been such a great lad. No. I mean, what was that full experience like?
Well, I remember I got injured against Chelsea.
Shearer's goal away twisted Desai and scored that.
Yeah, I got injured in that game, and I knew Madrid had been watching me because we had the run in the UEFA Cup with Newcastle, and I thought, right, that's me done. And they bought Walter Samuel. It was a class Argentinian centre back from Inter Milan. Yeah. So I thought that's carboshed. that's not happening. And I was walking down the steps at Whitby, and I get this phone call off my agent saying, what are you doing? I said, well, I'm in Whitby, blah, 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 about to walk down the steps. He went, right, well, be careful, because Madrid are going to bid for you tomorrow. I was like, right. He said, what do you want to do? I said, well, what do you think? What do you think I want to do? I want to go.
Real Madrid?
Yeah.
Wow.
So I said to him, I said, listen, Simon, I've got a flight tomorrow. I'm going over to Madrid, over to Munich to get some injections in my back. I saw that all that cow's blood and all that stuff. They were injecting that into me to try and make me get fitter quicker. So I said, I'll have to go there. So they're like, no problem. So anyway, I fly to Munich, have the injections. I can hardly walk off the injections. The next minute, my agent rings me. He goes, right, they've agreed a fee. Madrid are going to send you a private jet now, and they're going to fly you from Munich to Madrid. Yeah, you're off the scale. And I'm thinking, oh man. So the physio comes round me and says, have you got something to tell me? I went, oh, well, yeah, they've just bid for me. Wow. So I'm getting picked up tomorrow morning, I think, and we're flying direct to Madrid. So yeah, it's an incredible experience, and to happen so quick was unreal. But I remember getting my medical. I'm lying in the scanner machine. I must have been there about 5 hours. As I'm going to be a few injuries, and I'm lying there, and I get out, and I feel all right. And the doctor comes. He says, "Oh, you've got a problem with your back." I went, "Back?" I said, "I haven't." I said, "To my thigh." I mean, no, your thigh's actually all right. We'll pass your medical for that, but you've got like a disc pathology where you've got a spondylolisthesis, like bilaterally, and a pars defect. I didn't have a clue what it was. So I'll have to speak to the president, Florentino. So I went, okay, so he's mumbling away, blah, blah, blah. The next minute, he comes on the phone and says, right, instead of giving you a 5-year contract, we'll give you a 4-year contract instead. So we're going to sign you no matter what. I mean, wow. Happy days. Happy days. Yeah, but lucky. You've got to be lucky at times. You've got to be in the right place at the right time.
Yeah. I agree with that. I think you create your own luck. I think that part of success and winning and taking opportunities is turning up and showing up and being level-headed in the moments. Because as a kid, we get taught, Rocky, fucking come on, let's get going. But actually, the best performers, it's just so ice cold in situations, aren't they?
Yeah.
You just know how to turn up and just do a job. You know
what you're doing, don't you? At the end of the day.
Yeah.
If you're confident in your own ability and you step across the white line, you know exactly what you're doing. So it just happens. Yeah. It just happens.
Yeah. So it was Real Madrid. It was the Galactico Real Madrid. See, what's crazy about your journey? Things have happened in your life that had never happened again. Like a Leeds team, a youth team going to the first team and getting to it probably won't happen again.
No.
Or very unlikely to. Then going to Real Madrid at the time of the Galacticos, it's unlikely that'll happen again because it's quite the norm now with the Man City buying everybody. Yeah. But you had all the best players at one club at the same time. Yeah. Well, who was there at the time?
So you had Luis Figo, Zidane, Beckham, Ronaldo, Raul, Casillas, Ramos, Beckham. I mentioned Beckham, Roberto Carlos, Salgado, Walter Samuel, like Helguera, Guti. Oh my God, Guti, what a player!
Was it?
Oh wow, it could just. The best player in that group was Zidane and Ronaldo.
Really?
But in training, Guti used to run the session.
Did he?
Used to run the session, possession sessions. Yeah. You'd need to be on his team if you're gonna win. You're on Guti's team. He had so much ability. Yeah. But what you see with them type of players is they're just so easy to deal with. They're not like big time. They're not like flash. Yeah. They just turn up and get on with the job. It's the lesser players who are more flash and more big time because they think they're that good. Do you know what I mean?
I do, yeah.
When these professionals and these players don't believe in all the hype, they're just good players, good characters, good family men who just want to play and do it right. But I never had a problem with any of them. They were all brilliant with me. I tried to learn the language as soon as I went in.
Did you really?
I think that's one of the biggest things you've got to do. The biggest thing actually you do when you go to a foreign club is learn the language. And I tried that. I can still speak Spanish now, no problem. But they appreciate that I try to fit in.
Respecting it.
I try to fit in. And by the way, I was injured when I joined. I was injured for a year, actually, until I made my debut, which is, it was difficult. But you get through the situation. You've got to find a way to get through it. And you do find a way in the end just by hard work, positive thinking, positive attitude, going into work and doing your job and doing everything right possible you can do.
Yeah.
But the players were good with me, like the likes of Ronaldo, Roberto Carlos, like Bex and Mike Lauren, all like top. Used to go around to the Brazilian lads' houses regular. And they just sit with you. Yeah, just sit with you, come round, have a bite away, a few drinks, game of pool, and Some of my mates would come out and see me, and we just go to Ronaldo's house.
Well,
it's ridiculous. Yeah, it's just ridiculous, isn't it, when you think about it?
Scary.
Like having meals out with Ronaldo, then going around his house and having drinks and all that, and going out in his Hummer and stuff. It's just off the scale for your friends as well. I mean, you're looking at one of the best players ever.
During that period.
But normal, and who'd have a laugh with you, and it was just a top guy.
Yeah.
Top guy.
That level of player, then, they were nice people. They're really competitive and they're really professionals in everything they do. What's it like? Because that is the highest elite level you could get to in any sport. What's it like in that environment? What like the training, they're eating, how do they live their lives?
Everything's done right, and everything's done to the smallest detail possible. And if things aren't in place, then players say something because they want the best.
Do they really?
They want the best. They want the best, and to be fair, everyone at Madrid gives you the best. So you get the best at the best this, the best that, the best whatever you want you can get. Because these are finely tuned athletes who need to perform, so they need the best environment, the best food, the best, if it's the best water, you know what it's like. But that's where I say them type of players, they always want more. They always want to get better. Like say if one time me and Ronaldo were in the gym together, we'd have a competition, see who would lift the most on our legs. You know, like a test. Not see who would lift the most, but most reps. Like little things like that. You always want to be the best in anything.
Yeah. So you see Sky now, and Roy Keane for me is the best pundit ever. But that's like a mentality, that winner's DNA. Is that just the norm of that type of player? Is Zidane like that, for example? Yeah,
of course he is. He's like that. He's like, you have to be like that, in my view. Like when I got to Madrid, I learned the will to win.
Did you?
And if you draw, it's the end of the world.
Is it over there, yeah?
Not if you don't win from Madrid.
Yeah.
It's like...
Really?
He's gone.
What's it like living there? Is it intense with everyone?
Yeah, it's intense. I was on a suburb just outside the city centre. But it's intense. You go into games and stuff and there's people banging on your doors. If you're not playing too well, they're at you. I made my famous debut getting sent off and own goal, but I got clapped off by the whole stadium because I realised how much work they'd put in. Yeah, but going back onto the winning mentality, when I was in Madrid, I got taught that. Michel Salgado, if you get beaten in a training session, it is not acceptable. It isn't acceptable. Like 5 sides, not acceptable. But this was like to a different level. I thought the intensity at Leeds was big, and I was a youth team player, but this is like off the scale. And if you lose a game, it's the end of the world. Really? And you can't lose games. You cannot lose games. The pressure's intense, and you need to perform under pressure.
Yeah. Is Zidane special?
Yeah, a special footballer, yeah.
Is he big?
He's about 6'2".
Bigger than you?
I'd say a little, maybe half a centimetre smaller than me.
But
lean.
Is he?
Yeah, lean. Nothing on him, but strong as on the ball. Yeah, you can't get the ball off him in training. He's just them players are a step ahead.
Really?
They're one step ahead of you. Like sometimes if you join the rondos, and if I was in the rondos, I'd be in. I couldn't get the ball back. Then I'd give it away. I'd be back in.
Really?
I'd just be ratting around for the full session trying to get the ball back because they're that good. Yeah. They're that good players. Yeah. But it's some experience.
Yeah. Did you come back a better player for playing with them?
Yeah, I'd say a better person more than anything. I come back a better player, but a better person. Lived on my own there for 2 years. Understood what life was all about. Right. Learned lessons. Look back, and stupid things that you've done in the past, like everyone does, young kids, whatever, and you learn lessons and you think about. But definitely as a person, like learn the language. I would have thought I could learn a language. Not the cleverest at school, not the most academic in the world. I'll tell you what, I'll give it a good go. Yeah, and I was really proud of doing that. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, and you come home to Middlesbrough.
Yeah, come back to Middlesbrough on loan initially, which was an ambition I wanted to fulfil as a young kid. Always on the playground in Middlesbrough.
You're a Borough fan as well?
Yeah, I'm a Borough fan. So I always want to play for my hometown team. And when Middlesbrough came in for me, Newcastle came in for me, I think I had a sniff of Arsenal and maybe Villarreal. But I wanted to come back. I wanted to play for Middlesbrough. A massive ambition of mine to do it. And I made my debut against Arsenal away against Henry. And I remember getting cramp after, say, 38 minutes. Legs had just stiffened up. I had to carry on. I keep on going. Yeah, but it was that was a real proud feeling for me because I've been to Ayresome Park as a 7-year-old, 6-year-old kid. My granddad was brought up in Brompton Street. My father was brought up in Brompton Street, stone's throw away from us. I used to walk there every day. So for me to make my debut for Middlesbrough, when me and my dad had watched it all the way through, and Bruce Rioch era, Colin Todd, Brian Robson, Lenny Lawrence, to then play was somewhat special. My big regret was then signing for Middlesbrough. Like for another 4-year contract, I should never have signed. I should have gone back to Madrid.
Could you went back there?
I should have. I had another year left on my contract, so I should have gone back. But I didn't. I was too comfortable in Middlesbrough. I was happy. I was playing well. I was back in the England squad. Big regret. Should have gone back and give it another go at the top.
Could you have thought yourself in that team then when you were back? Who was playing centre half at that time
El Guerrero, Ramos. I think Samuel had left. Cannavaro just gone. Listen,
very achievable for that.
Yeah, you've got to try. You've got to go and try and give it a go. Which that's one of my big regrets.
Yeah. But I really appreciate and respect how open and candid you are about it. It's very. Yeah.
That's what I should have done. No doubt about that.
So, did you play with Southgate again?
Yeah, he saw me.
Did you see him being? Because obviously, you look at Zidane. People don't talk about Zidane being a manager, but I think he's won 3 Champions Leagues, hasn't he? As a manager,
I think he's 3 or 4. Yeah.
And then Southgate, he's done wonderful, obviously with England. Could you see in them players then that they'd be top managers?
I always thought Gareth would be a manager, and then he went on to England. I think, by the way, at Middlesbrough, he's done a fantastic job. You know, he went from a player in the final against Seville to managing next season with players who he played with, probably roomed with, ate with every single day, to then being the manager. How hard's that? And probably saying to the players, I can't believe you're not playing today. If I was a manager, you'd be playing. And they're not playing him when push came to shove, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So for him to do that must have been so hard. So hard, and he did it. He done a really good job, and this is why I say sometimes you need to be in the right place at the right time. With England and 21's done really well. Yeah. Sam Allardyce gets in. Bit of a problem for Sam or whatever. Gareth's in, takes his opportunity. Yeah. So sometimes if you're in the right place at the right time, you can help, and then you've got to make it. And now what an unbelievable job he's done. Unbelievable. He's unbelievable. He's brought the whole country together with the squad, with the young players, with a few seniors in there. He's done fantastically well. Yeah. You've got to take your chance when you get in. He's done that.
Yes, yeah. I listen to his book. I try and do a book a week because I want to learn. I want to get better. I want to move away from where I was to what I want to be. Right, be a better father, a better man in business. Southgate's book's for anyone watching this, one of the best books for business ever. How he leads with empathy and kindness. It's like a new thing to football. Like when I played, I got fucking hammered off overalls. It was. You used to get a court case if you did wrong. You used to get polished.
Yeah, well, I got that as well.
Oh, which was a good part of my growing up, by the way.
Yeah.
But how he leads with empathy and kindness is something totally new, and I took a lot from it. Yeah. What's your thought in that new direction?
Yeah, I think without a doubt you've got to show empathy and kindness to every single player. You know, you can look at players in different lights and of what they are, but if you're going to be nice to someone and speak well with them and be positive with them, they're only going to be positive back to you. If you're going to be nasty to someone and tell them this and tell them, don't get me wrong, there's a time and a place when you have to have a serious word with someone, maybe do it behind closed doors. They're little lessons you learn, but he comes across that in the press. He comes across it when he, after a game, when he's going on the pitch and he's shaking the hands of the players, he's looking them in the eye, he's smiling with them, and you can see the bond that he has with the players. He's done a really good job.
Nice guy.
Yeah, really nice. Gareth's a really nice guy. Yeah, really nice guy.
Yeah. So you went to Tottenham from Middlesbrough?
Yeah, moved to Tottenham. A good experience again, moving away from Middlesbrough and living in London for 3 years. Loved London. For me, one of the best cities in the world, really? If not the best. Loved the place. Moved to Canary Wharf, which is about 15 minutes away from the training ground, which was perfect for me. I like when I move away. I like to be able to walk out places, and I don't have to always jump in a car to go to the spa or something. I can just get out the apartment and walk about and stuff and meet people and talk to people and just people watch. We all like people watching.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, just watch what people do, and that was another good experience for me. I think the more you can move away from your hometown, your club and your town, it's good. Yeah. It's hard to get out of Middlesbrough. It's hard to be successful in this town. There's a lot of good people in this town. I'll tell you what, when you're doing well, there's a lot of jealous people. You'll find it.
Is that challenging?
Listen, I have friends who know me.
Your friends have the same friends from school.
Yeah, parents know
they
me.
haven't changed it all, have they?
Some have, some haven't.
Right.
Some have, some haven't. Listen, I think that happens in lives. You learn on people who you can trust and people
I get
you can't trust, and some people take you the wrong way at times, and you learn big lessons. And I've learned big lessons in friendship all the way through, really. Constantly learning things from different mates, but I've got a good bunch of mates.
Yeah, it's important with a close circle, and I think the 5 people you hang around with is going to be a reflection of what you'll end up like. I genuinely feel who you hang around with, you're going to end up like that.
Eddie Graves used to say to me, so by the end of your career, you'll have probably 5 mates you can count on.
Really?
Yeah, he's not far wrong.
Yeah,
he's not far wrong with that.
Yeah.
And you do trust different people.
Always do,
Yeah.
Successful people, I'm about with successful people. I was a fucking junkie. I'm about with junkies. Like it's common sense, isn't it? So surround yourself with good people. So you went to Tottenham. What was Redknapp like there for?
Harry was a man manager, pure and simple man manager. He with Gareth Bale, Gareth was going through a bit of a bad spell. He basically transformed him. Luka Modric was unbelievable. Yeah. When he first came in, I think he was on the bench in one of the games. Harry, he was straight in the team. Luka.
Yeah.
I'd say Luka would probably be in one of my best 11, yeah. Luka Modric. A sensational player. Sensational.
Player? You put him in he wasn't even playing in the middle, was he, when Redknapp?
No, you could play him off the left, but tucked in. So it'd be more like as a 10. But like a clever position to put him. Luka could receive the ball any angle you wanted to, drop a shoulder, see the game in a different light to anyone else, wait a pass, appreciation a pass. Just on a different level, but again, what a good guy.
Nice fella.
Oh, top. Him and Charluka, 2 Croatians, top guys.
The right back, wasn't it?
Yeah, like real good guys. That's what you want in dressing room, good guys.
Yeah, of course it is, yeah. They say that a lot. Roy Keane talks a lot. And he finds it a bit insulting when people say the game's different now, and he says, but you still need characters, you still need, men in the dressing room you can count on. Is character important in the dressing room to have success?
Yeah, I think character, coming from, even when you're 16-year-old, you can be the best player at 16. If you don't have that character to get over the line, like what are you going to be when you go and train with the first team? You might be the best player in your youth team. What are you going to be like when you go and train with them first team lads? And the pace is different. What are you going to do if you give the ball away? Are you going to go get back on it again? Are you going to shrink? Have you got the character to get back on the ball? Have you got it? Have you got it in you? Have you got the minerals, the desire to want to do it again? Character's massive. Yeah. You can, like you say, all the ability, best player in the youth team, go and train with the first team. I've seen it live with my own eyes. Yeah. I've seen players fold. I've looked at them and thought, ooh, that's not too good. That's not a good sign. But then I see players who come over and when they train, they give the ball away, they want it back again in the game, and they don't give up. And that player goes above the one with the ability because the one with the ability hasn't got the character. Massive character, desire, enthusiasm. Massive.
Yeah, enthusiasm. We've got core values at work, and enthusiasm is one of them. Some people I know reach the top level in industries, business, sport, on the back of enthusiasm and out working and doing everything, even the things they hate, as if they fucking love it.
Yeah.
Just everything in it. I'll make you a cup of tea, and you can see them, but they'll go to the top.
Hard yards.
Yeah, hard yards.
You've got to do the hard yards to get to the top.
Do. What was Bale's transformation like to watch? Because did you play in the Milan game?
I didn't play in that game, but Gareth was someone who just went on to a next level of performance. And how long has he been in Madrid now? He's won 4 European Cups. Still there now. Yeah. But what an athlete! Like when you talk about Ronaldo, like different level, and you talk about Bale, body shape, lean, strong, can run any distance you want, can jump the highest, can do whatever you want him to do. Like again, on a different level of player. I'd say you got Messi and Ronaldo, and then in the prime, you'd have Bale. At that point, when
he was scary.
He was like just below them, like a Benzema type. And Iniesta, that type. He was amongst that.
Yeah. It was Maicon, wasn't it, the Brazilian right back?
Maicon, yeah.
Did you see that coming in the club, or was it just like the rest of we watched it as public going, what the fuck?
You could see it. You could
a schoolyard.
Yeah, you could see it coming, but not against Maicon. one of the best right full backs in the world.
Yeah.
Just to rip him up. He done it on the home leg as well, by the way. He done it at home, so it wasn't a fluke away. It was both legs.
Yeah.
He tore him a new one.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't like to be Maicon in that situation, getting done for pace.
When he did that, did you see I really believe in momentum, both good and bad. If it's going bad, it's going bad. It's your mindset. But when it's going good, it goes really good. Could you see him after that, like growing confidence and stature and just start like easing through the levels?
You could see the way he was walking at the train. His stature was going straight away. He just went up another level. His shoulders come out. He was like, I'm the man. I'm the man. Do you play golf?
No, I don't
right, let me go off the subject. When you're playing good at golf, there's nothing better.
Yeah.
And when you're hitting a shot, you feel like you can hit any shot, any shot.
Yeah.
Once you hit a bad one, you hit a bad tee shot, poof, it goes like that. So it's exactly like that.
Yeah, momentum.
Yeah,
John Maxwell, great leadership book. He says momentum is the most important thing in leadership. Once you've got it behind you, it's good or bad, it's behind you.
Yeah.
And it's nigh impossible to stop.
Yeah, I agree with him. I agree with him.
Yeah.
Momentum is one of the biggest things in football. Confidence, again. You've got a confident bunch of players. Yeah. They're going to be good. And if you've got momentum with confidence, you're a different animal.
So, but what's non-negotiables for you?
Honesty. The biggest thing. As a manager, as a player, be honest with people. Just tell them what you think. And then they can't come back at you. Just be really honest with your players. And as a manager with Bournemouth and Middlesbrough, I'll be honest with my players, face to face, and tell them the way I'm playing, this is the reasons why, this is what you need to do, get back in the team. If you do this, you get back in the team. If you don't, you won't. So things can't go wrong with you when you're doing things like that. Honesty, massive thing. Like, place to be on time. Timekeeping. When I went the wrong way today, I was thinking, oh my God, Jonathan, do not be late. Do not be late. Yeah. Big things. And little things, little margins. Margins.
Yeah, I love it. Your experiences in football, you've had quite the journey, very unique. They helped you on your next journey in leadership. Will they make you a better leader? Yeah,
different things. Well, like I say, you take different aspects of different days of how you can improve. Like you say, reading different books. Listen, when I read an interview of a player or Roy Keane or Jamie Carragher or Gary Neville, I'll save it in my folder that I've got so I can go back to it. And little things you learn. If I read a book, I'll go through it with one of the highlighters. So when you read that book again, you've got little messages and little things you can speak to people about. But like I say, every single thing, I'm learning from you today because I'm open-minded to want to learn. If I'm not going to learn, am I?
Yeah.
So it's important that you keep on learning every day to be the best person you can be, and the best manager, and with leadership or whatever you do. Yeah. But it's not just leading players; it's leading you're leading the full club. You're leading the press, the secretaries, laundry, physios, everything. And that was an important thing that when I was at Middlesbrough, I thought that was important to get everyone together to make it our club. It's not just the first team and like the rest. We're all together. We're all in it together. So I try and get the staff out and little nights out here and there and get everyone together. So it's all us, not just them. Yeah. Bring the core of the club together so we all feel it when we lose or when we win. Everyone's happy. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
That's really important to get your group together.
That's culture.
That's how it's got to be. Strong culture.
I get you.
Strong environment.
Yeah, definitely.
No people. So you can trust people. Can you trust people in your building who you're working with? Another massive thing. Yeah.
The Netflix book, Reed Hastings, their book on culture is just on another level. Zappos as well, Tony Hirsch, great book. I know they're not sport. I genuinely think business and sport can be transferable. Yeah. In my heart of hearts, it's still culture, it's still people, right? As a young manager, as a young leader, it's a fucking big task. Do you have people you can go to for advice and say, look, can I get a bit of counsel off you?
Yeah, I think you can. I speak to people on the phone regularly. Like when I went to Bournemouth, it was one of the main things that I decided I want to do was get someone in who's been there and done it.
Really?
So when I got there, I was given the job after 48 hours being in the building and went down as a coach. Thought to myself, right, going down to Bournemouth, going to start again. Didn't go well at Middlesbrough. Let's go out my comfort zone. Let's go to the furthest place you can go to, Bournemouth.
Good for you.
Started learning again, started coaching. I wanted to learn from Jason Tyndall, who'd worked with Eddie Howe, which I thought was really important to do. Yeah. Go there and get the job after 48 hours. And I'm like, oh my God, felt horrific. Didn't know a person in the building. So Jason's there, all his coaches are there. Jason gets sacked. All his coaches are still there. He's been there for God knows how many years, 12 years. He's grew up with these people. They build a foundation together, got a culture. And there's this northern boy coming down. He's going to be the manager after being here for 48 hours. So I thought to myself, oh my God, this is not a great situation. I didn't really enjoy it at first. And I thought to myself, who do I trust? Who have I worked with before? Harry. So I rang Harry. I said, listen, let me just speak to you now and again. No problems. Anything going on you can help me with. Not a problem, John. I'm here for you every single. He used to ring me nearly every single day.
Did he?
And then when I got the job full time, I got Joe Jordan, which again, who I'd worked with at Tottenham. Yeah. I'd worked with at Middlesbrough. Someone older head, could trust my eyes and ears if I didn't see anything. And that was massively important for me, because at Middlesbrough I didn't do that. I had a good coaching setup. I needed to add a little bit more in the mix-up. But yeah, this is lessons you learn. But the older head at times can always help, because he's been there and done it. It's not a weakness. It's a weakness if you don't say it, don't go and get it, because that experience can always help you.
The strength and vulnerability. The big thing for me there stands out is, recognising you win or learn, don't you? We either win or we learn, and you learn from that experience there. I needed some experience to guide me. What's really stood out is it didn't work out in your words here, right? I want to go and test myself out my comfort zone, away from my family and kids, the furthest place you could possibly go. Yeah. Fuck me. What is that mentality? Is that a natural thing? That's what you've learned?
It's wanting to get better and improve, and don't just be satisfied for what you've got. Sitting at home, it's not me. I want to go out and work. And when the opportunity come up, I thought to myself, that's a bit of me. Let's go and improve. Let's go on with a group of players you've never worked with. You don't know any of the coaching staff. You don't know anyone down there. Let's go and give it a go. Let's go and learn. It's one of the things you've got to do, and sometimes you make your own luck.
Yeah. How did you bring that group together then? You've come in, bit of an imposter of nothing. Their friends being sacked and gone out.
Yeah.
How did you bring that group together? Because you did a fucking cracking job. Brilliant.
Got a lot of them in individual meetings. For starters, there was a lot of players there who were low on confidence. I thought to myself when I went there, I want to be focused on one formation. Stick with it. Try and get the best players in. It's in rocket science, by the way. Get the best players playing in the right positions. I had to chop and change a bit. I moved Philip Bill in from a holding midfielder to a number 10 to get close at the forward. He thrived in that position. I got Arnaud Danjuma on the left in my office on the first day, because I spoke to my mate at Liverpool, Michael Edwards, who's their sporting director, and he went to me and said, you need to get Danjuma on it, because when he's on it, he's unbelievable. And I worked for Liverpool for 8 months as a scout over in Portugal and Spain, learning again. So I said, have you got any videos of Danjuma? He went, I'll get you one. So I spoke to the lad there called Kyle, who sorted me out this video for Danjuma. So I'm sat here and Danjuma sat there. I said, I know how good you are. I said, give me your phone number. I said, just give me your phone number so you can give me blah, blah, blah. So I said, watch that video. And it was this video of him playing in the Champions League games for NEC, games at PSV, games for Bruges against Atletico Madrid. I said, watch that. And it was all his goals and all his bits he'd done well. Do you know, to try and get him on side early doors, get him in. I'm in the building. This is what I want you to do. Can you get back this to me? So the next day I said, how many times did you watch your video last night, Arnie? Gaffer, about 15 times. I said, your ass will be going square. But that's the little things you do to try and get players on side. You need to fill these players full of confidence. They'd only, I think they won 1 in 9 or drew 1 in 9 or whatever it was. And I had to go in there and try to help. That's always trying to do. But you've got to get all the players on side, senior players on side. Steve Cook, really important. He's their captain, been there for 10 years. What's he going to be like? You coming in the building, speak to him face to face. This is what I want. Just be honest. That's what I said.
A lot of it.
It's not rocket science, is it? It's not rocket science. Get players on side. Speak to them normally. Speak to how they want to be treated. Individual meetings. Just be honest. Have an easy way of playing. Little lessons that you learn from Bobby Robson, Harry Redknapp, Terry Venables, little bits you take. Don't be arrogant. I'm the best manager, I'm trying to do this, I'm trying to do that. Don't get me wrong, I'm coming as a coach, and it didn't go well at Middlesbrough, so they're thinking, oh, who's this? So then you've got to show them what you're made of. Jack Wilshere there at the time, big player. Good player. Leaving him out at times, but telling them why I was leaving him out, and being honest. Not easy conversations to have with a player who's an England international. Not easy. I've known managers who duck them conversations and just leave them out and blank them. I don't think that's right. You tell them.
I totally get you.
Get their opinion. What do they think?
This is fascinating me. So being a father, I want to talk about, because the football stuff here, it's such a look into your mind. And I mean, this is a compliment. It's quite surprising how fucking in-depth you are and how analytical and how committed to your craft you are. You seem like a brilliant father as well, mate.
It's something that I pride myself on. I'm harsh with them, to be honest with you. I'm harsh with them. I'm trying to be as strict as I can with them. But always give them big cuddles. Always show them the love. Like every day, I'm always like big cuddles with my kids. I love kissing them and cuddling them and throwing them up. I love it. There's nothing better. And I love spending time with them. There's nothing better than your kids. And when you go to bed at night, I'm happy because I've got my kids, I've got my wife, I'm settled in my life and stuff. But them kids give you so much joy, and they're going to keep on doing that no matter what they do in life. If they wherever they want to work,
whatever they want to.
As long as they're happy and they're enjoying life and trying to push themselves and trying to be the best person they can be, no problem. I say it to my son every day. What do you do every day? Work hard. Work hard. That's all I want. If you work hard, respect your adults, have good manners, no problem with me.
I agree. Gratitude's a big thing for us as well. Yeah. Gratitude's huge, which is respect. Did you take a lot from your old man?
Yeah, like as we were going back at the start, he was a plumber and he worked, but he was always polite. He used to work down the municipal golf club for free. He used to go down there and plant trees. And I used to see him doing that. He used to drive down there in his red Micra. I don't know how he got there, to be honest with you, but he used to drive down there and work his socks off. And when I went down there today playing golf, I see some of the old fellas in your company saying, "Oh, your dad was this, your dad was that." Nice. He used to whack the ball straight down the fairway. But I remember all the trees he planted. And when I go there now, because I was with him when he used to plant them at times, helping him out and stuff like that. When I was a kid, I used to look at the trees and think, "Oh, quality." But they're good times you had with your dad. I want them times with my son to really enjoy life. I'm lucky enough to have 2 real healthy kids. Touch wood.
I'm fucking blown away, mate. Amazing having you on. Thank you so much. Again, just how easy you were. Literally one phone call, I'll come down on time. How open you've been. I'm really grateful. Thank you so much.
Enjoyed it.
So that was John Woodgate on the Little Bricks podcast. Fucking Borough legend, great lad. Massive career still in front of him. Too much stuff to cover. So thank you so much. God bless. Up the Borough. Bye.